Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, where today we are going to be talking about all the books that I have pre-ordered between now and the end of the year. I have mentioned this on my channel before, but a lot of the books that I am the most excited about come out in fall. So this is the majority of my pre-orders for the year, and I thought it would be interesting to look at because I am actually pretty picky with my pre-orders. They have to be kind of like tried and true authors for me, or tried and true series. So I have 7 pre-orders for this time period. So let's go ahead and jump right in with Ruby Fever by Alona Andrews. This is coming out August 23rd, so the day that this video is supposed to go up. But this is the 6th book in the Hidden Legacies series, which is an adult urban fantasy paranormal romance series. This is the last book in the 2nd trilogy, and I have been dying for this book basically since I read the last one last year. So I recently completed a reread. I am ready to go with this book, and I'm very, very excited. And then the next book that I have pre-ordered is Be the Serpent by Shauna McGuire. This is the 16th book in the October Day series, which is an adult urban fantasy series. It is one of my favorite series, hands down. The level of thought that had to go into the plotting of this series is truly astounding, and the world building is also phenomenal. But this is the 16th book. So how it's kind of been, how Shauna McGuire has written this series is in 4-book arcs, and so the 4th book always hits hardest. So book 4, book 8, book 12, and now book 16. And when I like, don't, if you haven't read this series, don't go read the description because it's spoilery, but like, it's the kind of description where the fandom read it and immediately lost our minds with speculation and what is going to happen, and I just really want it in my hands right now. I'm probably not going to read it right away because I am in the middle of a reread and I'm just not quite there. And I think this is the kind of book where it would be really good to have like a buddy read this with me, but yeah, we shall see how this goes, like when I actually get to it. But I am still really excited to have it, and that comes out August 30th. And then on September 6th, we have In the Ballroom with the Candlestick by Diana Peter Freund. This is the 3rd book in the Clue mystery series, which is a YA murder mystery series. And this is like, I don't read a ton of YA at this point anymore because I just don't vibe with it as much. But for some reason, this one is absolutely perfect. It is like, it's a murder mystery series, but it's like kind of campy, kind of trashy reality TV almost. And it's got all these homages to Clue, especially the Clue movie, which I adore. And it just really, really works for me. And this is the final book in the trilogy. It has actually been out for a year. It came out in hardcover last year, but I have all the books in paperback. And it was one of those weird things where I really wanted to read my own copy of this book, so I have been patiently waiting for it to release in paperback, and now it finally will. And then there is an honorable mention, and that is another book that is releasing on September 6th, and that is Killers of a Certain Age by Dina Rayburn. And I did not pre-order this, but I did put myself on the holds list for my library. Like, it's on order. As soon as it comes in, I'll have to wait a little bit, but I am already in line. I didn't pre-order this because I've never read a Dina Rayburn book, and so I don't know if it's going to work for me. But this is an adult thriller kind of thing. It's following like 4 women who are like 60 years old who were working as assassins and get sent off on like a vacation, and then there's an attempted assassination of them, and they realize their former bosses like want them gone, and so they fight back. And it's like, everything about that sounds perfect. I'm so excited to read this book. I really hope that I'm going to like it. But yeah, like I couldn't pre-order it because I just haven't read anything by this author. But yes, I am already on the holds list, and I am looking forward to getting it hopefully pretty quickly. And then on September 13th, we have What If 2, Additional Serious Scientific Questions to Absurd Hypothetical Questions by Randall Munroe. So this is a nonfiction book that is going to be a sequel, it's a sequel to What If, which is a book that Randall Munroe wrote, and it's exactly like it says. People would ask absurd questions and he would actually figure out very seriously the scientific answer to them. So from the first book, I remember that there was a question that was kind of like, if you're on a baseball field on the pitcher's mound and you throw a baseball towards home plate at the speed of light, what would happen? And the author broke it down, what would happen if that were to occur. And it's just fascinating. I love this kind of science where the science involved is actually very often very complex, and the author does a really good job kind of breaking it down more basically, but it's still pretty rigorous in the response, and it makes me very happy when people do that kind of thing. And then on October 25th, we have Into the Riverlands by Nghi. This is the third book in the Singing Hills cycle series, I guess. I don't actually know how many books there are going to be in this novella series. I don't mind because it's been fantastic. So this is the continuing adventures of Nghi, the cleric, and who goes around collecting stories from people. And I'm not entirely certain what this one is, other than it's the next book in the series, and I've loved these books, so I am very excited to get to this one. And then we have two novels. Well, we have two more books, and they're both from Subterranean Press, and so they don't actually have a release date yet. So if you don't know, Subterranean Press is a very small press that focuses on high quality, beautiful copies of books. And because they do very limited print runs, I don't think they worry so much about having an actual publishing date. They just say fall of 2022, which is what both of these books are listed as right now. But the first one that I ordered was Apocalypse Scenarios by Mira Grant. And this is a short story collection, and it has 6 stories, 4 of which I have actually already read, 1 of which I have in physical form, and the other 3 ebooks. And then there's 2 additional stories that I have not read before. And I kind of really debated with myself on this because Subterranean Press books are expensive. And so I'm like, well, I've already read 4 of them. I have copies of 4 of them, even if they're not in the format that I like, because I have them as ebooks, and that's not my thing usually. But I thought I really do Kingdom of Needle and Bone is in this, and it's one of my favorite novellas from Mira Grant. So I'd really like to have a hard copy of it. And I really am interested in reading the other 2 short stories in this collection, and there's no ebook that is they're not releasing an ebook for this collection. So I was like, okay. So I took the plunge and I went ahead and picked it up. But yeah, fall 2022. I don't know exactly when. And then the last book that I have pre-ordered is Unbreakable by Mira Grant. And this is Mira Grant writes horror, and it's basically that we have these the Starlight Girls. I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they're the protectors of Earth, and then the end comes and basically all of them die except for 2, and then they're struggling with the aftermath, and then some years later more bad things happen. I think it's horror, so probably more bad things happen. And I'm just really excited because this is such an interesting kind of premise. And so this is another one that is set to release in fall of 2022. The Apocalypse Scenarios, by the way, has already sold out, but Unbreakable still has some copies available if you are interested. But yeah, those are all the books that I have pre-ordered. It's kind of a lot. I did, for some reason, even though I've been keeping a list of release dates for books that I'm interested in, it still took me by surprise how many there were this year. But I am really excited because there's going to be a little period of time where I'm basically getting a book sent to me every single week. And that sounds delightful. That sounds exactly perfect. And so I absolutely cannot wait. But that is it. So if you have any thoughts or feelings about any of the books that I have discussed in this video, please leave me a comment down below, or let me know if you are pre-ordering any books between now and the end of the year. I'd love to hear it. But that's it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and until next time, have happy reading, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!